have Mark and Grace Sias with Noble Notary, the Notary Ninja, Notary Prosperity Academy, Noble Legal Pros. I could go on and on and on. So today we're going to talk about the NNA, and you know, there's a lot of scrutiny when it comes to the NNA and certain certifications that are being implied that notaries need. So if you know us and you've watched our videos before, we're very transparent. We always have the back of the notary because we know what it's like to be hassled and haggled. So we like to be very truthful about everything. First and foremost, you do not need any other certification other than Notary Prosperity Academy. Just kidding. No, you only need the NNA training. Unfortunately, because they train you, they do the training. So if you're out there wasting your money on loan signing training, just a heads up that you are going to need the certification from the NNA in order to work with vendors and get hired and have that. Most of them. 90% of them require that. And other than that, that's the only certification you need. Please don't let anybody trick you into thinking that you need a trust document runner certification, or I mean, what else is there? There's so many things out there.
Loan signing system, signing blueprint.
It doesn't mean anything, guys. It really doesn't mean anything. So save your money. Get the training you need, of course. That's why our Notary Jumpstart Academy is fully a third, maybe a fourth of the price of the rest of the loan signing systems out there, because we know that you have to go get commissioned, you have to pay for that, and then you have to go get your NNA training. So along with that, you do have to get your background check as well, and Mark's going to explain why.
It's a hot topic.
Yeah.
Well, so let me preface that we as a signing service don't require a background check from the NNA, and I'll tell you why in a second. But so the background check, you basically are going through the NNA and paying $80 to be, if your background's screened, then you're listed in their database, which probably really doesn't do you any good. Their database is signingagent.com. I don't imagine it does you a whole lot of good because it's not while you can access it publicly, it's not indexed or visible publicly, if that makes sense. But never mind that. The background check would go through, your last 7 years of history. Now, what's unfortunate is that you could be, your background check could come back flagged for whatever reason. It could be that you're a criminal, but it could very well be that speeding tickets or something ridiculous. So, and then unfortunately, a good deal of vendors may deny you, credentialing with them or onboarding with them because of that. So there's a couple of problems that arise with that. And this has kind of been a concern and a discussion I've had with other notaries in the industry. And I would just say that, first of all, most, like Grace said, we shoot you straight about this stuff. Most of we'll call them the industry gurus, they're just brown nosing the NNA, right? They're just running around.
There's an affiliate.
Right. They're getting a kickback. And they're just gonna follow along with that.
Which, good for them. I mean, if you can affiliate with anybody, that's great. But in this case, we really just want to kind of break the mold on all of this.
Right, and it begs the question: if they're doing things that might be unethical or might even be FCRA violations, are they going to speak out about it? Probably not. So let's touch on the FCRA. FCRA is Fair Credit Reporting Act, and essentially what the NNA is doing when they're doing a background check is similar to a credit report. The problem is that with credit reports, if there's something that comes back on there that's erroneous or that you feel like contesting, you contest it. And with the NNA, there's not really a contesting process. So again, this is a very real example. I've talked with notaries, I've discussed with notaries who've had literally like a couple speeding tickets, and that flagged them. And they unfortunately they were losing a large network of signing services that they would connect with. Now, I wasn't sure where the Fed stood on this issue, so I did a little digging, and lo and behold,
that's what he does best.
I like to snoop around. Actually, in 2010, the NNA actually settled a lawsuit, so they were sued, and they settled a lawsuit for violating Fair Credit Reporting Acts. In other words, basically doing this background check by whatever mechanism they're doing that, coming back with a report that potentially was erroneous, and then smearing somebody's business because of this without the ability to contest it. So they settled a lawsuit. So that means they lost it. That means they paid out for this so-called background check.
Yep.
Right. So this is why us as a signing service, I don't require that. We don't require that. I'm not going to get sued for violating federal Credit Reporting Act laws. All right? I'm not going to mess with that. Now, if we have a title company that is insisting on this, I'm going to put the burden on them. So I will ask you to produce this document for them, and that's between you and them. And if they don't want to hire because of that, I'll tell you who to go sue. Okay. But we don't. We feel like there's a potential for discrimination with that act. And I'm probably the only one saying this. So, but it is what it is. It's a matter of public record. They have in fact been sued for violating this, and it potentially is a violation that they're doing. And it's something you need to be aware of. That you as a signing agent, if you are going to solely and aggressively market your services to the public and to maybe title companies or attorneys, that you may not need their credentials or their background, but most people coming out of the gate aren't that well equipped. Those things require time in the oven, so to say. So you're dependent on signing services to help build your book of business and to get you some revenue. And you unfortunately could be blacklisted by a company for things that, well, we don't even know what the criteria was for the blacklist, right? So that is just something to be aware of. And like Grace said, that their training, their credentialing is really the most recognized, and if not even the only recognized training that's going to be asked of you or required of you. Will these other ones make you look better? Maybe in your mind, yeah, but in reality,
in the real world,
what makes you look better is how good showing up for an appointment. I mean, we've had notaries that we've sent out for stuff. They didn't show up. Guess what? I don't care if you're a trust agent. You look bad.
Yeah.
You look real bad when you do that. So your ability to effectively communicate, to be responsible, and to be dependable and available makes you look good. To the public, your ability to get your message out there, to broadcast it, get reviews, makes you look good, okay? Phony certifications, it's all shiny object, it's all baloney. You know, that's it. That's our take on that. That's our rant. So NNA, you do need their credentials. You do need to get their background check annually. There's little benefit to you other than that, other than basically how they've cornered the market to do what they do. So just chew on that, and I hope you found that useful. We'll see you on the next video.
God bless.